Well, greetings, everyone. I'm Reverend Deborah L. Johnson, also known of as Rev D, and so happy to welcome you to Inner Light Ministries virtual offering. Let's just take a breath. Today, we're going to be talking about forgiveness. So I'm going to be asking you quite often just to take a breath. Let's start with a little centering. If you care to just relax for a moment and we get out of all of the busyness, we allow ourselves to be fully present. And as we take a few deep breaths now, we allow ourselves to open up wide. We open up to the revelations. We open up to the insights. We open up to the possibilities that are waiting before us. Being here is our commitment to see with fresh new eyes. It's our commitment to take a little closer walk with the divine. We don't leave this time together the same people that entered into it. And it is with this deep intentionality and gratitude for life itself that we begin our time together, declaring it to be good and really good. So we just get out the way, we get into alignment, and we let whatever it is that's trying to unfold here, we just let it transform us. So it is. So it is. So welcome again. I'm going to share with you Inner Light's purpose statement, just to ground us again in our presence for being here. Inner Light is an open, diverse, inclusive community of individuals and organizations dedicated to spiritual transformation. We provide tools for activating higher possibilities by applying universal spiritual principles to all circumstances. Our aim is personal and global healing through the omni-faith energy of love and the revealing of our own inner light. Promoting life's sacred interconnectedness, we embody spiritual oneness, appreciate individualized expressions, and honor all paths that lead to spiritual truth, justice, and ecological regeneration. Breathe that in. We're here about possibilities. That's why we're here. Pain pushes until vision pulls. Pain pushes until vision pulls. We're going to be talking a lot about that during our time together here. As it said in the purpose statement, that we provide tools for living, tools that help with our individual and collective healing. These tools help us to apply universal spiritual principles to everything that's going on in life. They're not different sets of principles for different things. It's not like, oh, well, this is relationships and maybe this stuff will work over here, but oh, this is cancer. Or, yeah, this might work for physical healing, but this is economics, or this is politics, or it's this or that, trying to find places of exclusion, places where it's exempt from a spiritual law, a spiritual principle. No. We don't come here looking for what's outside of the infinite. We come here to do the opposite, to bring everything that we know into it, into the center, so that the lens that we use of oneness, we apply towards everything. One of the tools that we offer are 100 words, 100 affirmative activation words. They are on, you'll find them on our website. You can come back again and look at this online on our YouTube channel. They're going to come up on your screen, and I want to invite you to say them with me now to help us energetically recalibrate. Forgiveness is a salve for all wounds. It's the key to resilience. Anger does not reduce anxiety. Resentment never results in rest. Self-righteousness can't be camouflaged as self-affirmation. Forgiveness thaws the frozen heart. It stimulates stagnant love. No amount of animosity is worth my peace. I won't trade joy for judgment or my happiness for hate. Bitterness is too poisonous to partake of. It's my choice to make amends. I choose to transcend. Forgiveness is not for someone else. It's a precious gift I give to myself. I let God in. I let go to let God in. I forgive to be free. I want to say that again. I let go to let God in. I forgive to be free. So I want you to just be with this a moment. Just kind of soak it all in. And notice if there's something that's calling out to you. Maybe it's no amount of animosity is worth my peace. Perhaps it's I won't trade joy for judgment or my happiness for hate. Maybe there's something that's calling you up a few notches. Like I let go to let God in. I forgive to be free. Or it's my choice to make amends. I choose to transcend. Just notice. Maybe there's something in here that pushes your button. Like anger does not reduce anxiety. Resentment never results in rest. Or self-righteousness can't be camouflaged as self-affirmation. How many times do we make that mistake? Think we're just affirming ourselves. And we're busy laying judgment on everybody else. So I invite you to come back to really contemplate these, repeat things. That's where it takes root. This is just to get you exposed to it so you know that it's there. It's an invitation for you to come back. Let's take a breath. So, in addition to affirmative activations, to just help to cultivate our consciousness for the message, we also like to bring in a little bit of music. There's something about music that hits us at a really deep level. We like to mix up the different genres and kinds of music that's out there for different tastes. We are going to do a little bit of rock this time. And so I invite you to just move along with the groove. Some of the lyrics are going to show up on the screen. If you feel like singing along, it's an easy beat. Sidewalk Prophets. Yes.
Thought that I was right. Knew that you were wrong. I chose the upper hand over open hands. Bitterness over understand. Now there's rooms in my heart under lock and key, where I kept an honest love and all my trust from the hurt that happened to me. Now I'm letting go of anger, pride and pain. I'm going back to a place where hope collides with grace again. Freedom's where forgiveness is. Why'd I wait so long to unlock these doors? Said I was safer there, really I was scared. Now I'm not afraid anymore, no. Now I'm letting go of anger, pride and pain. I'm going back to a place where hope collides with grace again. Freedom's where forgiveness is. At first these words were hard to say, then my heart was healed and the story changed. Now a sweeter life I'm breathing in. Freedom's where forgiveness is. Now I'm letting go of anger, pride and pain. I'm going back to a place where hope collides with grace again. Freedom's where forgiveness is. At first these words were hard to say, then my heart was healed and the story changed. Now a sweeter life I'm breathing in. Freedom's where forgiveness is. Freedom's where forgiveness is. Freedom's where forgiveness is. Oh, there's freedom.
Hmm. Let's just breathe that in. Freedom is where forgiveness is. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about forgive to be free. Let's take another breath. So before I can really start talking about what forgiveness is, I feel like I need to unpack a little bit the common misconceptions about freedom. That we need to be clear about what freedom is, what forgiveness is not about, before we can really talk about what forgiveness is about. The common misconception is that forgiveness is something that we do for other people. It's some kind of place that we get to where we are willing to shift our heart or our mind about them. We're really wrestling with our own judgments about them, about what's happened. There's so much within us that's tussling with this because we're feeling like they don't deserve that forgiveness, or whatever it is that happened, it like isn't quote unquote forgivable. Somehow or another, we are colluding with it, or we're saying that it's okay. Perhaps we're even rewriting or erasing history. If we forgive, we're somehow changing the ledger sheet in the universe and giving credits where there should be debits. That there's just something intuitive with this from our ego standpoint that doesn't like this forgiveness thing because of the position that it feels like it puts it in. Like, if I do this forgiveness, these other people are going to be uplifted, but then I'm going to be worse off for it. I'm not going to be healed. I'm not going to be transformed. My needs are not going to be met. And why should I give more to the perpetrator? Why should the abuser get off the hook when I'm going to be left here with all of this pain and hurt? No, I don't want to do that. You know, they need to suffer a little bit. They need to pay for their mistakes. There has to be some consequences here. Don't go rearranging history. We need to make sure that we keep the record straight. No, all this forgiveness stuff is crazy. Okay. That's what our ego is thinking. And if that sounds familiar, yes, I've done there and been that. Take a breath. Okay. That is not what forgiveness is about. It's not. You don't have the power to do all of that. You don't have the power to erase what has happened. You don't have that power. You don't have the power to let anybody off the hook. There's a little thing called karma, and it is not under your control. Okay. The universe is very exact. It is very exact. There's always consequence with the sequence. Okay? We're not punished for our mistakes. We're punished by them, their own natural sequences. It's not our job to figure out how everybody else is going to get their due just. Okay? I'm not saying that we don't have laws or that we don't have court systems or have people accountable. I've done prison outreach over 20 something years. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the prisons of our own minds. I'm talking about this way that we want to be the judge. We want to be the jury. We want to be the litigator. We want to be the prosecutor. We want to be the jailer. We want to be the executioner sometimes. Not our job. Take a breath. The purpose of forgiveness is for you. The purpose of forgiveness is for you to shift your relationship to what's going on. The purpose of the forgiveness is to be an incubator place inside of yourself, okay, that refuses to be the space where bitterness, where rage and anger and powerlessness, it refuses to be a breeding ground for all of that. See, the forgiveness shifts your relationship to what's going on so that you don't feel victimized by it in such a way that you develop the identity of a victim. There's a difference from experiencing victimization and walking around in the world with the self-perception and the identity of yourself as a victim. Okay. Now, these things that I'm saying, they're true on a personal level. They're also true on the collective level. Okay. And I'm going to be talking a lot in this message now about how all of this works on the collective level. Take a breath. Take a breath. Contrary to popular belief, forgiveness isn't just about somehow adjusting our attitudes about the things that have already taken place. Too many of us reserve the forgiveness. We don't activate it until after the fact. Listen to what I'm saying. We wait for something to happen, or something happens. We evaluate it, we analyze it, we make some kind of determination about whether we think it deserves our forgiveness or not. No. Take another breath. The key to forgiveness is forward, not backward. The key to really learning how to forgive and to impact the things in your life about forgiveness is to forgive ahead. Forgive before it happens. Now, this may sound really, really strange. Okay. But this is how it works. The forgiveness is shifting your relationship to it. Let's just say you're in a 12-step program. You're in AA, let's say. And you're going to your meetings, you're working the steps, you're working the program. The making amends isn't just about trying to correct the past, because you can't really correct the past. You can't unring the bell. The making of the amends is about the choices that you make from here on out. Listen to the difference. It's not going back and undoing. It's more mitigating. It's more putting something else that can be a counterbalance. It's like tipping the scale in the other direction. That's what we do. With the forgiveness, we're not erasing something that's already been. we're setting ourselves up to be in a new position as we go forward. So if I come to you about making amends, I'm not just coming to you apologetic for what I did in the past. My making amends is saying to you, I'm going to show up differently. From here on, I'm going to show up differently. I'm not going to keep seeing everything that's happened between us through those wounded eyes. I'm not going to go off on the handle, go off. I'm not going to get enraged. I'm not going to run away. I'm not going to freeze you out. That I'm going to be different in the future. But that's a choice you're making today. Listen to what I'm saying. You're not waiting to see what's going to go down and what's going to happen between the two of you and then decide, am I going to run away? Am I going to be enraged? Am I going to freeze him out? No. You're making that decision beforehand. You're making it beforehand. There's an analogy that I often make with this. It came to me years ago and it just seemed to be so perfect. So if you have a 4-year-old child, grandchild, niece, nephew, whatever, and you're giving them a birthday party, okay, and there are going to be 14 4-year-olds at your house Saturday afternoon. Okay. You already know something gonna go down. Okay. If you have 14 4-year-olds in your house, okay, something gonna happen. Something's gonna get broken. Something's gonna get lost. Something's gonna get sticky. All kind of things might happen. Okay. You know that. You know that. You know that before you even invited them. And you have decided before you invited them that whatever it is that goes down, you're not going to let it ruin the party. Whatever it is that goes down, you're not going to fly off the handle. You're not going to browbeat these kids. You're not going to shame their parents. You're not going to kick them out. And you're not going to pout about it afterwards. Because you know you're bigger than it. That no matter what it is that goes down, it cannot define you. Now, it may depress you a little bit. You know, some heirloom gets broken, or, you know, something really precious to you comes up missing. Yeah, you might have some really big feelings about it. But you're not going to let it define your life. You're not going to let it change how you show up. You're not going to let it rob you or steal your joy. Well, I contend every day is like that. Technically speaking, a large percent of the population is grown or adult. But I can guarantee you, all that same kind of stuff is going to go down. particularly in these times. Listen to what I'm saying. I already know when I check the news, there's something that's going to piss me off. Okay. I already know that. I already know that I'm going to look at things that are happening to this nation, that are happening to the world, that are breaking my heart, that in no way, shape, or form match the vision of possibility that I have for who we can be, for who we're supposed to be as a people, as a species, as human beings sharing this planet together. I already know that. And what I also know is that I'm not going to let my sense of value, my sense of worth, my sense of possibility, I'm not going to let it diminish. I'm not going to let it decrease. I don't care how much I personally, my people are slanderized, demonized, denigrated, abused. I mean, on and on and on. And if all we're doing is being angry, then we can't really change it. Resistance is nice. I get that. We don't need to collude. We don't need to be complicit. We don't need to acquiesce our power. We don't need to do all of that. But if all my attention is about trying to get my power back from you, or trying to keep you from taking my power, then I've put you in the position of power over my life. No. No. That kind of thinking disempowers you. See, the key to forgiveness is flip sides of one thing. The key to forgiveness is non-attachment. Okay, that's different than detachment. Non-attachment puts you in the position of keeping some sense of spiritual sovereignty. It takes the Velcro off, the sticky stuff off, so that whatever it is that's going on in the world, it's not attaching itself to me. I don't become its host. I'm not the dog carrying around the fleas of the world. Forgiveness becomes like a shield, so to speak. It's like a certain kind of Teflon. Now, Take a breath. The flip side of this non-attachment is unconditional love. Forgiveness is staying in a perpetual state of unconditional love, and vice versa. Unconditional love is staying in a state of perpetual forgiveness. Perpetual forgiveness. This unconditional loving is the state of oneness, where the universe isn't chopping itself up and dividing itself and splitting itself and retracting or expanding, based upon whatever it is that human beings are doing. Whatever it is that's going on in the outer world, it's just being itself. Like it says in the scripture, in the Sermon on the Mount, that God makes the sun to shine upon the just and the unjust. The light just shines. What would it take for the light to not shine on the unjust? It would have to be retracting itself. It would have to be dimming its own light. No, it just shines everywhere all the time. And such as it is with us, to accord with nature, to really be in integrity with our spiritual DNA, we need to just shine. Just shine. Period. Where we don't get smaller, we don't dim, we're not retracting in any kind of way. We don't allow our own sense of self-worth, our sense of possibility, the joy in the world. We don't let that go up and down. Take another breath. The other thing that we don't let go up and down is our sense of interconnectedness with each other. Now, I know for a lot of people, the idea of actually being one with everybody and everything seems like a lot. Just like more than they can even handle. Okay. If you can't get to that, can you at least imagine interconnected? Can you get that far? Okay. So interconnected would be that no matter who or where you are or whatever it is that's going on, we're all having impacts on one another. No one is an island unto themselves, that we're somehow in this thing together. Okay. Can you get there? Because if you can at least get there, then you're on your way to getting to the oneness. But when we get into the either or, the demonization, the separation, there's them over there, there's me over here, and somehow or another, it's my job to try to separate us, to divide us, even if it means, locking us up and throwing away the key, that I'm determined somehow or another to not try to peacefully coexist with you. No. If you can at least desire peaceful coexistence, with this sense of interconnectedness, then you can be on your way to the oneness. I tell people all the time about forgiveness. Just start where you are. Start where you are. You say, well, I don't know if I'm willing to forgive. Okay. Are you willing to be willing to forgive? Maybe. Okay. Are you willing to be willing to forgive? I don't care how far back you have to go. Just make a decision. Make that choice. Make it for your own freedom. The primary ingredient in resilience is forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgiveness for the mistakes, forgiveness for the mishaps, forgiveness for the detours, the not letting any of that stuff limit your sense of possibility. It's the non-attachment. It isn't denying that any of it happened, but it's kind of like the so what? The so what? So I had cancer. So my partner left. So my baby died. So the house burnt down. So I lost a leg. So I'm living in my car. Whatever. It's just saying none of that gets the last word, because there's still me, a powerful spiritual being that is connected to the only thing that is, and such as it is with us as a society. It's the same thing with us as a society. In order for us to have the resilience, we have to be able to do this same kind of, so this thing happened, so that thing happened. Okay, and this thing's down the pike, and we are more than this. And this doesn't have the last word. It too shall pass. It too shall pass. And when you're willing to stand in this, you will experience a freedom that you have never known. You don't get the freedom when everything you think is holding you back lets you go. No, you get the freedom when you let go of the perception that all of these things are holding you back. If I go back to that 12-step analogy, that's what's happening in the meetings. That's what's happening in the meeting. The meetings aren't just about rectifying the things that have already happened. It's creating a space and holding it for each other about the future. About practicing the forgiveness in the future. That's the whole basis of the serenity prayer. The courage to change what you can change. And what you can't, you can't. Knowing that ahead of time. Did you see what I'm saying? Like having the non-attachment before it even happens. And the wisdom to be able to make that distinction. That's practicing the forgiveness ahead of time. Because they know that if you don't do that, that when those things come up, you're going to spin out. That addictive behavior will kick in. That you have to shift your relationship to it ahead of time. I contend, in these contentious social political times, we all need to essentially create socio-political 12-step programs for ourselves. That we literally have to hold each other in the possibilities to share the pain, the regrets, whatever that is, and to get this strength together, not to spin out. When you spin out, the addiction wins. See, when we spin out, the oppression wins. The dictatorship wins. The lack of humanity wins. No. 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 We got to do more than just fight it. We have to forgive it to stay in our power. Just breathe that in. And I promise you, if you feel like you're having problems in your personal life, the social political arena, forgiving the past, forgiving the things that have already happened, if you want to get that forgiveness muscle going, start practicing on forgiving now, forgiving in the future. The non-attachment for what comes down the pike, the non-attachment for what's going. And the more that you develop that skill set in the moment and about what's coming, the more you can apply that to what's already been. Okay? That's why they have you making the amends. Okay? Because the more that you can do it in present time, the non-attachments, the making the decisions about not freezing or running away or spinning out, the more that you can do that now, like in real time, then the stronger you'll be to confront those demons of the past. But you can't just go confronting those demons of the past until you can develop this muscle about who you are in the now. Let's take a breath. Let's take it to prayer. give thanks in this moment for our freedom to choose, our freedom to be, our freedom to rise above, our freedom to transcend. I thank God for our freedom to be free, to make that choice, to live in that energy and vibration, to so resonate with it and vibrate with it that freedom becomes our identity. Our truth. It's our dwelling place. It's where we live in consciousness. We dare in this moment. We dare to practice radical forgiveness, to live in that precious interconnectedness with everybody and everything. Create in us a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within us. Oh, we let go. We release. We free ourselves of the burdens and the weight of the judgments, the constrictions of the condemnation, the shackles of shame. Yes, guilt can be a guillotine. We don't need heads to roll. In this moment right now, we dare to believe. We dare to uplift. We dare to know. We dare to believe. I believe in the power of the only thing that is. I believe in the creative energy of the great I am that is creating at all times. It includes everything and excludes no one. We pray in this moment for divine right action. We pray in this moment for a divine order. We pray in this moment that God's grace is sufficient, that all needs are met, individual and collective. We speak the word for financial and physical sustenance, for food, for clothing, for shelter, for homes. We speak this word for peace, for joy, for transcendence, for balance and fairness, for safety, for equity, for transparency and integrity. We speak this word for opportunity, community, creativity abounding. Not our will, but thine be done. We get out of the way. We get out of the way. And we allow that goodness to manifest in each and every person's life, in each and every nation, everywhere, all over the world, exactly what it needs to be. We know in the mind of God that's already done. We just align with that. We give it our full consent. We are free. let that be. We're praying community here. We have prayer practitioners that are available to you. You see on the screen information about how to reach them. You can give us a call at 831-465-9090 at extension 254. You can send us an email, the number 4 and the word prayer at innerlightministries.com. One of our prayer practitioners will get back to you with your own unique prayer designed just for you. Even if it isn't a problem, maybe it's something joyful and you just want somebody to stand in agreement with you for its divine right unfoldment. We're here. We're here. There's no charge. Of course, love offerings and donations are always, always welcome. And please feel free to also let us know of the good news. We keep praying. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We also invite you to participate with us, to just allow yourself to, whenever you can, to show up in person, to be with us online. There's something that's called you here now. And I know it's not a one-off. So whatever that is, whatever that's resonating here, I invite you to recognize it. I invite you to come back and to nurture it. There are workshops and things that we do have available. I invite you to go to our website or to subscribe to our newsletter there, or check us out on social media. In particular, I have some metaphysical Bible interpretation workshops that are coming up that you may be interested in. They are open to the public, and regardless of your relationship or non-relationship with the Bible, I think that you might find that they are of great benefit, particularly in these times. When we meet next weekend, we will be having our own house band as a musical inspiration, featuring Etienne France. Our band leader will be the main musical inspiration. And as you know, he can really throw down. He's a great singer and a fabulous rapper, hip hop artist as well. So we'd love to see you there. And as we take another breath and think about all of the ways that we can be in community together, another way is for us to give, to circulate the resources that we have, to make a financial contribution, to make sure that messages as bold as this are able to get out into the world, and we can continue to do more of the programs that we do. And thank you once again to everybody that showed up to our recent Pulled by Vision socio-political play shop that we had in person in the Santa Cruz area. You'll see on your screen that there are a number of ways that you can make that contribution. There's a QR code if you want to use a mobile device. You use any debit or credit card with that. It allows you a reoccurring option. The same with the text to give. If you want to do recurring, you can reach us at 831-231-0065. If you prefer Zelle or Venmo, that handle is accounting@innerlightministries.com. And I believe there as well, you can choose to make your gift reoccurring. I can't begin to tell you how much it matters to us, those of you who do that, and those of you who out and out tithe, because you provide the foundation for us to be able to continue to do our programming, to do our work, to have meeting space, to be able to do the outreach and the programs that we do. And I so appreciate that. And you know that it's never just a one-way street, and we want to bless these gifts and these offerings now. As we just turn within, we know that our every act produces abundance. We dare to give freely unto the truth that sets us free. We release this gift, knowing it returns to us 1,000-fold. And yes, in fact, it does do that. It returns to you 1,000-fold. So thank you for joining us. I encourage you to come back, visit the website, check out the affirmations, subscribe to this channel, share this message. As always, take this consciousness and multiply it.